tell her to stop?
But they'd like it, Chris.
It's so loud.
Oh, you're like Boris Boohoo today.
I am not.
You so are. All grumpy and... Hey, I remember that time Boris Boohoo got really, really grumpy about some drumming.
Oh, that was different.
Here's what happened. It was really funny. It was a lovely sunny day in Hairyland. And in the Ha Hairies garden, Ma and Minnie were looking at a ginormous parcel.
They were amazed.
We were hiding in the bumblebee bush.
Just then, Pa turned up. He'd been to empty his compost bin.
And he was amazed. What could this ginormous parcel be?
Ma read out a card and said that it was a present from Grandpa Hairy Ha Ha.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
Shush!
Oh, you can't shush when you're this excited.
Grandpa Hairy Ha Ha had sent them a Plinky Plonky.
Oh, I want to play Plinky Plonky, Chris.
Do you know how to play the Plinky Plonky? And the Hairies didn't know how to play the Plinky Plonky either.
But that wasn't going to stop them. Yes, this was the day the Hairies played the Plinky Plonky.
Minnie had an idea. She wanted to show the Plinky Plonky to Boise. So off she went to get him.
We decided to go too. Picky, follow me round Hairyland, round Hairyland.
I am quick
And I am Wiggy
with a hairy fairy band. Up on the hill at Chateau Shampoo, someone was busy. Can you guess who? Boris Boohoo. What's he gonna do?
Emptied some hairy peelings into a very stinky compost bin.
Boise was swinging on his new rope swing.
Just then, we landed in the big blue barrel.
And it seemed that Boris was going to have a lazy day.
He'd started to read his comic when suddenly he heard something.
He grabbed the hairy stary to find out what it was.
It was the plink, plink, plonk of the Plinky Plonky.
Ma and Pa were getting really into the Plinky Plonky now.
Boris was cross. He hated noise.
At that moment, Minnie turned up, and as soon as Boise saw her, he stopped looking at where he was swinging and went bump into Boris.
I just knew that would happen.
Minnie said that Boise must come with her to play the Plinky Plonky.
She said that Boris should come too. It was so much fun.
But grumpy old Boris said no. He had no time for fun. He had work to do.
But he told Boise to go. Go, go, go.
Of course, Boris wasn't going to do any work. He was going to do this.
Boris couldn't stand the noise. He just didn't know how to get away from it.
He got more and more cross until he did this.
He stuck his head in the composting.
He'll be so stinky.
Back at the Ha Hairies house, they all agreed that nobody knew how to play the Plinky Plonky.
Then Pa had an idea. They needed a how to play the Plinky Plonky book. They'd have to go over the hills to Hairytown.
Hooray! Of course! So they all rushed to get into the Fluffer Puffer to go to Hairytown to buy a book.
Meanwhile, back at Chateau Shampoo, Boris got his head out of the compost bin. He picked a hairy carrot peeling off his cheek.
Oh, I told you, covered in yucky stuff.
He couldn't hear anything. He looked through the hairy stairy. Nobody was playing the Plinky Plonky. They'd all gone off in the Fluffer Puffer poop.
They'd left the Plinky Plonky on its own.
Boris wanted to get rid of the Plinky Plonky before the Ha Hairies came back, but it was bound to be really heavy.
What he needed was a plan.
Boris needs a plan, he needs a plan as quick as he can. He needs a plan, he needs it quick.
He needs to plan a clever trick.
What'll it be?
What'll it be?
What'll it be?
Boris had taken down Boys' rope swing and he was going to tie it to the Plinky Plonky, then tow it away with his clatterbanger.
If he's off to the Ha Hairies garden, we should go too.
You bet we should.
So when Boris set off, so did we. Boris arrived, and before long, he was attaching the Plinky Plonky to the clatterbanger with the rope swing.
And we were in the hairy pear tree.
Then he tried to pedal.
But the clatterbanger wouldn't move an inch. Suddenly he heard...
Nana Ha Ha was coming.
Boris went into a panic. He untied the rope and looked for a hiding place.
And the only place he could think of was Pa's compost bin.
That's the second time today he's ended up in a bin.
Nana arrived with Chihuahua and saw the Plinky Plonky. But she didn't see Boris.
She can play it! Nana can play it! Hooray!
Ricky, shush, she'll hear you.
Oh, I don't think she will.
Boris was trying to get out of the garden in the bin.
But Chihuahua was onto him.
Nana had no idea why he was barking.
Just then, they all heard this. The Ha Hairies were back!
Boris is never going to escape now.
You mean he'll have to live in the bin?
No, of course not.
The Ha Hairies were pleased to see Nana and showed her what they just bought. A how to play the Plinky Plonky book.
Boise suddenly saw the clatterbanger. But where was Boris?
Chihuahua knew.
So Nana started to play.
They had no idea Nana could play the Plinky Plonky already.
And Pa decided to play the bin. The bin that Boris was in.
Blah, 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 blah. Ha ha ha. Blah, 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 blah. Ha ha ha. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, ha ha ha. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. The Ha Hairies loved the sing-song, but Chihuahua decided it was time to do this.
Nobody could understand why he'd barked at the compost bin until Pa did this. And there was Boris!
Minnie said that Boris wanted to come and play the Plinky Plonky all along, but was too shy.
Then, to everyone's amazement, Chihuahua started to play the Plinky Plonky.
And then Chihuahua began to sing.
Boris couldn't stand it anymore. It was time for him to go. He pedalled all the way back to Chateau Shampoo.
Now the noise was even worse, and Boris
is so grumpy. How awful to be that grumpy. I'd hate to be
OK, Quiz. Are you ready to not be grumpy? Let's make some noise!
Oh!